Hello there, Jane. Okay, let's go. So the increasing price of petrol is the best way to solve growing traffic and pollution problems. To what extent do you agree or disagree? What other measures do you think might be effective? Good. Nowadays the price for petrol has grown outrageously high, yet it is argued that perhaps this is the best way to solve the pending problems in traffic and air pollution. Let's see. So look. Best way to solve. Just pause the video. How could we rephrase it without repetition? Because you're not going to get any points for those structures which you've taken from the question. Okay? The examiner knows you've taken them there. So let's see. Pause the video, have a think. Is the optimum way? Is the most effective way? Is the is the most effective way to resolve the pending problems, or to find a solution for the pending problems. Okay, I disagree that increasing the price of petrol is the cure to the problems. This essay will use the spring rush in China as an example to demonstrate points let's see, demonstrate points, improve arguments, comma, followed by possible solutions. Okay, or followed by possible solutions. Try to avoid after that. After that I shall sounds like a spoken English. Okay, so let's see. This essay will use the spring rush in China as an example to demonstrate points, comma. Followed by suggestions to solve such issues or to solve such problems. Okay, it just makes it sound more academic. First and foremost, the rising fuel price could only mitigate the traffic-related issues in a limited way. Good. This is because the need to travel does not change. Okay, hardly ever changes. I'm just thinking of different ways we could construct this rather than use a negative construction. This is because the need to travel hardly ever changes. For instance, in China, people who are from rural areas work in major cities, go back to their hometowns every year before the Spring Festival. And this need for going back for holidays is traditionally inevitable. Seen in this light, people will have to travel if this Seen in this light, people will have to travel regardless of the price in petrol. There we go. Nevertheless, one possible solution to such issues caused by heavy traffic is to develop public transportation. Good! This is due to the fact that if a multiple number of people travel on a single trip, there will be less traffic and hence the exhaust emissions will be reduced. Good. For instance, recent studies by Harvard University showed that by 2012, wouldn't it be better to say by 2020, the traffic-related problems reduced by 20% in China. Sorry. Showed that by 2012, the traffic-related problems reduced by 20% in China after the high-speed network was built by the government. So, what happened first in this sentence? The study or the railway? So, what happened even first? The study, the report, or the reduction? Sorry, the study, the reduction in traffic, or the railway? Well, for reading, we'll probably put the study first, and we can keep with that sentence. For instance, a recent studies by Harvard University showed that after the high-speed railway network was built by the government, traffic-related problems fell by 20% in China, full stop. It's just easier this way to read and to follow. Okay? It's a logical sequence of the sentence. Therefore, public transport developments directly reduce the problematic issues in traffic. Very, very good. In summary, rising petrol prices are increasing the price of petrol, or increasing petrol prices, is probably not extremely effective. It's probably not extremely effective. Okay. However, if more public transportation infrastructure is constructed, traffic congestion and air pollution will be reduced significantly. Very, very good. Excellent. Big improvement here. If you want to get your word count down to 250, I could suggest that we reduce a little bit in the introduction. Okay. However, overall, this is really good. I'd be interested as well to know how much time it takes you to spend them to write these essays. If it's 40 minutes, not bad. Also, with your test coming up in 4 or 5 days, you might want to just quickly review a task 1, especially now, like at the beginning of the week, and then get back onto the task 2s, just to keep it fresh, that's all. So let's go. Nowadays, some argue that democracy and its basis, argue that global capital markets. Okay, this one's a tricky one. Political democracy has been well practiced since the ancient civilizations. S on the end. Yet it can be severely influenced by the global economy and modern society. Genius. This arouses excess of controversy. However, I firmly believe that the reduction in democracy is due to the globalization of the economic system. This essay will use housing prices in Beijing and austerity in Greece to demonstrate points. Good, very good. First and foremost, the delay from government in controlling the soaring housing prices can be seen as a loss, L-O-S-S, of democracy. This is because government third person, yeah. This is because government relies hugely on real estate developments to increase national taxation. For instance, the housing in Beijing prices at $25,000 per square meter, and this makes the average workers bear a far more financial burden than in 2005, before China joined WTO. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so for instance, housing prices in Beijing have risen 20% year on year since China joined the WTO in 2005. Full stop. This increase makes it incredibly difficult for average workers to start on the property ladder or to purchase property. Okay, I think that would have been a much better way to explain that. For instance, the housing in Beijing prices at, okay, that doesn't make sense. For instance, the housing in Beijing, in 2005, prices were at 25,000. I don't know. It's a bit tricky to understand. Okay. Nonetheless, politicians have lost a say in making. Seen in this light, the government, by giving minimal regulations on the housing price, is a loss of democracy. Seen in this light, the government, by giving minimal regulations on the housing price, has lost democracy, and this is a contemporary issue. Okay, not bad. Nonetheless, politicians have lost a say in making a decision that is beneficial to the citizens. This is due to the fact that democracy is vulnerable to the macroeconomic system, and it could restrain the politicians' capability in searching for creative solutions. Okay, for example, in 2010, Greek people experienced a painful austerity in social welfare due to the European Union policies making restrained by, I don't understand. So I think this is a good example of a complex idea really damaging your grammatical sentences. Okay, due to European policies imposing, let's see, due to European policies to settle financial markets, perhaps. Hence, these unfavourable policies were made under the world's market pressures and constraints. Constraints, with a T on the end. Okay, so this could have been, the difference between this one and this one is large. I think this one was done first, and this one seems to have been done a little bit faster, and probably immediately afterwards, because there is a drop in quality that's noticeable. Also, another factor is that it's a much more difficult subject. So what I would do, Jane, is perhaps write one essay, okay, then take an hour, 2 hours off, do something relaxing, then come back fresh and write a second essay, okay? And I think we'll see a difference in quality, and also it'll help you with your confidence, okay? Because maybe your confidence took a hit with this one, and it's not really a true reflection because you may have written it when you were a little bit tired, okay? So just take your time. Do one, take 20 minutes off, and then do the next one. Because also, you're writing 2 task 2s, not a task 1 and not task 2, okay? In summary, it is highly possible that the compromise in democracy is not commenced until the globalization of the economy. Okay, not a bad way to finish. Let's see. It is predicted this trend will continue as global economies continue to integrate, for example. Okay, so you know what to do now. Implement the corrections, send me your next 2 essays, and yeah, take your time and also do a thorough essay check. And remember, basic ideas are easier to communicate. Okay then, Jane, take care and we'll speak tomorrow.